What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby. Welcome to another video. It's currently 1:30 a.m. on Tuesday the 7th of November, and yeah, we're going to get straight into things. We're going to be starting with the weekly DXY. And right now, if you watched yesterday's video, you'll know that I have a bearish bias, although my bias isn't too strong right now purely because of the conditions we're in. However, right now I have my eyes on last week's wicks. So if you look at week commencing 23rd of October and draw out its wick, we can see the 50% level of that is what I'm looking at. And the reason I'm looking at that is because since we've now delivered on the downside last week and closed below it, I want to see if it can provide resistance at the consequent encroachment of that wick. So if we drop down to the daily, you can see how Monday we traded higher. Tuesday, I'd like to think the high of the week gets made, assuming we are bearish, and we continue to respect this 50% level. And the reason for that is because if we are to close above that 50% level, it would mean to me that we're likely bullish, as it will no longer be respecting bearish PD arrays. So this wick from Thursday the 2nd of November, I don't want to see price touch that, because that will show a continuation of downward movement, as that would act as like a breakaway wick almost. So I'm just looking to see how price acts within this weekly wick. I'll show you again. I want to see how we trade within it, and hopefully price will respect the 50% level, and that would mean a continuation to the downside, and then that would also mean that we're likely going to trade into this fair value gap down here as a target. There is no news releases tomorrow. There are no news releases tomorrow, so that means that the markets will likely be quite either consolidated or quiet in general, which again, it means that most of the movement we'll probably see happen on Thursday, Friday and Wednesday this week. However, like I said, tomorrow I'd like to think that we can make the high of the week, again respecting this 50% level, and then move lower, running out Monday's low and these lows over here. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to mark out the 25% level and the 75% level of this weekly wick, because we might notice how that price may even respect the 25% level, which will show more bearishness. So let me just show you what I mean. So that's the 25% level of the same wick, and then 75% level, although we don't really need it, because hopefully price isn't going to reach up there. And then let's go back down to the hourly, and then we can see now we've got the 25% level, 50% level and 75% level of this weekly wick that's in yellow. So tomorrow I'd like to think that we can take out this buy side just resting above this swing high, trade into this 25% and 50% level, and then I'd like to think that there'll be some kind of reversal, and then hopefully be short for the rest of the week. Otherwise than that, price will continue higher. It will take out this 50% level and we'll start running for this buy side and this volume imbalance here. But to be honest, this volume imbalance is another reason I doubt price is going to return to it for now. I don't think price needs to go back to it right now. That's another reason I'm expecting a continuation to the downside. But like I said, we'll know as soon as we trade. If we do trade above this 50% level, we'll know to then expect this to be filled and traded to. But yeah, let's go to the GBP. We'll start with the weekly again, because I'm looking at the wicks, remember. So here's the wick of Monday 23rd, week commencing Monday 23rd. I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did on dollar, but the inverse. Mark out the 50% level, and I want to see price can trade into this range, but I want the 50% level to be respected for me to continue to be bullish. And bullish would mean trading into this and filling this fair value gap here. Ooh. Make that orange. I'd like to see that this fair value gap get filled, assuming we are bullish. But let's go to the daily now. You can see we had a down close day. Price may want to dip down, trade into this wick, and then again find support. Well, at that point find support, run up higher and trade into this buy side liquidity resting above these highs, and then potentially even higher, because I know on the weekly there's another fair value gap just above that up here. But let's go to the 4 hour one more time. And another reason price would want to come down to this level is we do actually have a breaker swing high here. So we have a low a high, a low low, and then we've broken higher. So there is reason for price want to return to this range in general for us to then break higher. I don't want to see us come down back to this order block, but I do want to see it come back to the breaker, and again respect the 50% level, because that would show bullishness for me. If we say close below that and started to move lower, then we could be bearish, and probably heavily bearish in that case, and this would just be a run on stops. But it all depends on what happens tomorrow. Again, we'll know because of the respect that's shown. Let's go to euro to finish. And I'm doing the exact same thing once again, drawing out the wicks. I want to see the 50% level respected for me to continue to have my bias. So no trades are getting taken until I know that this 50% level is getting respected and that we're likely going to push higher. So let's go to the weekly, and we can see all these swing highs here, here, and up here, but there's no fair value gap. So what are we aiming for? Well, this is one of the longest wicks with a swing high below it, so I'd want to use this range as a target on euro, and then we can mark out the 50% level of that, which would be consequent encroachment for a target. Drop down to the 4 hour, I'll make it dashed, and then you can see on the 4 hour as well we have all these fair value gaps on the buy side, such as here, here, this one's been filled, but you can see there's imbalances and inefficiencies that price would want to trade to if we are to continue to be bullish. Again, also we have a breaker. Wow, is it a breaker? It's more like a mitigation in terms of a swing low, swing high, higher low, and then we've broken higher. So this would act as a mitigation block, which would allow price to use this as a springboard to run higher into that consequent encroachment. That's going to be everything, guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, if we drop down to the 15-minute, you can also see we've got a nice swing low here from Friday as well. So you can see where liquidity has been positioned for us to grab if we are to use that to, as a buy-in opportunity to push higher. So this is all supportive, and we'll find out what happens tomorrow. One thing to remember though, there is no news releases, so we may be heavily consolidated and see all the expansion Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but we can only wait. Thanks for watching, guys. That's going to be everything, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.